If you ask me, the Bears have made their mind up already. I think Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are both going to get fired on the Monday at the end of the football season. There was a report that came out. This is my theory. There was a report that came out Thanksgiving week that Matt Nagy was going to be fired after the game against the Lions. He wasn't fired. Many people know that the Bears don't fire coaches midseason. Many people think Lovie Smith was there a year too long. In other areas, they think Jay Cutler was there a year too long. We think Mitch Trubisky was here a year too long. The Bears have been nice in the front office. They've given guys an extra year to finish out their contract, to get a chance to prove their worth. People thought Matt Nagy should have been fired at the end of last year. He was brought back. People thought Lovie Smith should have been fired. He was brought back. People thought Jay Cutler should have been let go a year earlier. He was brought back. Mitch Trubisky, same thing. I think right now the Bears know. I think there's truth to that report. The Bears know Matt Nagy's not working out, and nobody is happy with him in Chicago. I don't even think Justin Fields is very happy with Matt Nagy. I think Matt Nagy has been a nice guy. I think guys in the locker room generally like him. I hear he's a good motivator of the football team, but the results are not on the football field. Nagy was an offensive coordinator, and the worst part about our football team is the offense. We had the best defense in the NFL when we went 12-6. That's why he was coach of the year. He didn't do that. That was Vic Fangio. Fangio left, Chuck Pagano came in, still had a solid defense. The offense got progressively worse with Trubisky after that year. Trubisky made the Pro Bowl in the first year, albeit off an injury. He was a Pro Bowler. Nagy won Coach of the Year. Pace won Executive of the Year. It's been downhill from there. 8-8 seasons and missing the playoffs. Now we're 4-10? The Bears have made up their mind already. They're just too nice to fire Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace in the middle of this season, so they're not going to do that. But I think that on the Monday, at the Monday after the final game of the season, I think they're both going to get fired. And I think the Bears right now are probably already considering in the very top of the front office who are some names and candidates we could possibly go after. I think at head coach, it's time to bring in a young offensive-minded coach. We've shown that we have good enough defensive players. We can bring in a new defensive coordinator who can get the guys together. That's not the problem. The problem is we have a coach right now who's on his second rookie quarterback, or his second young quarterback, I should say, and neither of them seem to be getting better because of him as the year goes on. Justin Fields' best game at the time of the season was when Matt Nagy didn't play. When we played Pittsburgh, Justin Fields looked his best. Matt Nagy was out with COVID. So the fact that our quarterback's playing his best game when the coach is out is a bad sign. It's also a bad sign that we're playing the Vikings on Monday Night Football and we can score 3 points in the entire game, and our coach is a former offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. So we can't have that. You can't have the head coach. You can't have the worst area of your football team being the coach's specialty. So Nagy is out the door. You can book it. So what about Ryan Pace? He's responsible for some good things, bringing Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Kyle Fuller, drafting David Montgomery. He's also responsible for letting Kyle Fuller go, signing Mike Glennon to a 3-year, $45 million deal, signing Andy Dalton to a $10 million deal a year after he could have got him for 2 years, or for $2 million, and paid Mike Glennon $43 million more instead, and then proceeded to trade up, pass on Deshaun Watson, pass on Patrick Mahomes, and draft Trubisky, who was a bust. Justin Fields fell in our lap. That was not a Ryan Pace plan. Ryan Pace signed Andy Dalton $10 million to be the starting quarterback for a year. We didn't expect to get a quarterback in the draft. We had like the 15th pick. We traded up to 11 when Justin Fields started falling unreasonably. We got lucky. So Ryan Pace is out the door because the offensive line is terrible. It hasn't been developed in his 4 or 5 years of being the general manager. The offensive line hasn't gotten any better. We've let go of guys on defense because we haven't had enough money to pay them, and we don't pay our starting quarterback anything. So how is that possible? He's bad with the cap, bad with cap management. So I think he's out. I think the Bears know it. I think they've already decided it. I think they're too nice of an organization to do it mid-season. I don't think that they think they have enough good enough interim guys to finish the year. We've got 3-4 weeks left in the NFL season. I think the Monday after the final game, both of them are going to get fired. The Bears are going to start their search for another guy.